Aberdeen and Europe plays a part of pre-season now, because it's sort of pre-season, but it's also the real thing. How much has that factored into the plan?
Well, it is that fine line, because of course, you know, a great achievement to get into Europe. Now you want to take that on. It has to be balanced off against the Premier League, and that is, you know, the bread and butter of what we're about. Of course, everyone knows that. There's nothing to do with, you know, you go back into that debate of downplaying cups and all that sort. Nothing to do with that. The fact is, that's the bread and butter. We know that, but alongside that, first time in 51 years, I think it is. It was a lot spoken about that last season. So, of course, we're looking forward to that as well.
And the way the draw worked, it gave you a proper cup tie, didn't it? I mean,
yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, a lot working out about seeds and all kinds of things, and everyone's. I think I'm just about there with how it all works. It is a bit confusing, but there are some teams that, you know, we quite honestly would hardly have heard of in them really early rounds, and then we go and pull Aberdeen, who we certainly have heard of. But you know, great draw for different reasons. They've done a great job up there. There's no two ways about it. So we're certainly not taking it lightly. We know that we'll have to play well to get where we want to get.
Working hard in the background, Michael Duff putting some laps in. Just a little change this week, personnel-wise. Just explain that, why Michael's with us and why Tony.
Yeah, Tony Loughlin, our first team coach, who many will know, unfortunately had a hip operation in the summer. And that's not the unfortunate part, but he had a reaction to it. So he's had to have a sort of minor surgery to clear some problems out that happened with it. So we were hoping he'd be back on the grass, going quite well now, but he's been delayed with that. So Duffo's just stepped up a little bit. You know, just to support the group while Tony's getting back fit. But he's recovering well. I spoke to him again today, so hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later when he's back in with us and certainly able to at least get on the grass.
Yeah, good. And it doesn't do any harm for Michael to be involved with it, and B, as yourself, just to sort of broaden it out. And Michael, where he's with his coaching career, and B, where he is with the club.
You're right. I've spoken many times, you know, about my belief in development, not just of the players, but the staff, and myself, by the way, you know, continuous learning curves that we're on. So to bring Duffo in for a while and have a look at it, get used to it, when he reverts back into that under-23 group, he'll have just a better feel, you know, better understanding of how that connects, and I think that's important.
Just early thoughts. Last season was magnificent, you know, a real landmark season. I know you'll have put that to bed. How do you build on something like that? You know, the achievement was so great, and you know, you've set such high standards.
Well, no, it's not an easy one. You know, I think we all know the realities of the Premier League, starting off with that. You know, the top six are there for a reason, and they're very hard to budge. We know that. Tremendous season for us last season. But it's not just the points tally, the way we went about it, you know, the mental approach to it, especially away, of course. You know, we all know the story from the season before. So really, I think it's a constant building process. You know, can we add again? If it's not in total points tally, which is hard to come by, then it's in performances, it's in mentality, it's in growth of the players, and all them things, still key markers. But we've been very open-minded about what we can achieve. You know, the good thing here is we've been written off every season in one way or another. And every season we responded to that. So we'll be written off again this season. It's not new to us. We've got the challenge of Europe as well.
Do you think that's because people say, oh, they've got Europe as well? Is that perhaps why this will be this year's doubting story?
Well, I did speak at the end of last season about it, and don't get me wrong, I understand why. Yeah. But people, you know, it's a strange thing about the psyche. You know, it's a tremendous thing for Burnley Football Club to be in Europe. So it's not there to be taken lightly, and we won't be doing that. But it just has to be balanced off against the Premier League, because we know how powerful that is. And we know the challenges of the two. So therefore, the importance of pre-season, the importance of working in the market to get, you know, extra players in and players that we think can add to the group and make it stronger. So all of them things are combining at the moment. There's a lot going on. We've got to make sure that we can, you know, add to the group in order to continue this upward curve.
I was going to say, this time of year, that's always a $64 million question. I know we can't be specific, but work is going on to try and keep.
Yeah, it always is. Forward. I mean, it's a broken record for me, because people, they presuppose you just get to the end of the season and go, right, let's have a look. It's an ongoing process for us. You know, I've said so many times, you're not your Man Cities, your Chelseas, etc., who can just go, right, we're going to go and get that player, and they put enough on it. You know, the club still want it running like a business. It still has to make sense, and that just often makes things a bit more tricky, and it makes things, you know, not as easy to come by, not as easy to get deals done. But I'm used to that. You know, the club's used to that. But it is, patience is needed, that's for sure, and that can be trying, but it is one of them things.
I know you've great faith in the players. When you come back and you see the players you've got and you get the feel of the group, I presume that gives you a positive feeling anyway. Yeah,
of course, and the group are motivated, you know, and I suppose the other thing that gets overlooked is players are not daft, you know. They know the fixtures that are coming up. They know, you know, a lot of noise about the schedule and all the games coming up. They know all that. So they'll be already preparing mentally, getting themselves right physically, which you've seen a bit of today, but also that mental approach, you know, and getting themselves ready for the challenges that come next.
There was a sense towards back in the last season when the period you were going to call off Europe, and then you did, that they were really looking forward to it. You know, it's not something to fight shy of. I presume you sense that as well, that they want to take that challenge on?
Yeah, of course. You know, and I think, because in a good way, we've been asked questions of so many times, I don't think that's unusual for them. So if it's questions about the game schedule, going here, there and everywhere, playing in Europe, starting with 2 games, of course, because of the way it works, who knows after that, I think they're open-minded about what the challenge is.
Just last a game on Friday night against Cork, who play in Europe themselves this week, incidentally, don't they? I know it's very much a pipe opener, but what's the sort of thoughts on that one? Will that just be an easy?
No, it will be that. We think it's important. You know, we like to come away. We like to give the players that first feel. We've done it before here, and a few fans came over. Low-key in the sense that, you know, it's probably one of the rare games I've spoken about many times where the key is people coming through it, getting some game action, being fit. You know, results come and go at this stage of the season. We're not too worried about that. And it's unusual I use that terminology, as you know. But it's important to reference these games are really about just getting that early feel of proper football, if you like. So that's what it'll be.
So far, so good then, and lots to look forward to.
Absolutely.